I want us to start in a standing position where we're finding grounding. You can find maybe feet distance, hip distance apart. You can rock side to side, bend your knees. Really just find a foundational pose that's going to work for you. I'd like us to drop into this moment by finding some quiet. Even though our environment around us may not be super quiet, we can use our breath to find this space that may be noisy and draw it into a point where we're centered, where we're calm. The quote I want to start us off with today is, "A peaceful mind makes a peaceful world." And I truly honor this. It's the first thing I read when I woke up. And it helps us because when our mind is full of chaos, we're not very mindful. But when we find this grounding that our yoga practice gives us, we can take all of that messy and we can turn it into something that is observant and present instead of getting caught up in whatever thought or news that is in our awareness at that time. Our yoga practice reminds us to come back to a mindful state instead of caught up in the extraness, the noisiness of our busy world and our busy minds. So let's slow down today, finding a grounding position on your mat. Whether you're laying down or standing up, feel your spine be really long. Feel your shoulders relax. Maybe put a slight bend in your knees. And then you can place your right hand on your heart and your left hand on your belly, or keep them dangling down by the side. We'll take this first minute of class to simply get quiet and notice. Notice the rise and fall of the breath. Notice the weight in your feet. See if you can relax the shoulders, maybe lift the head. Notice what shape the body is taking, what breath is settling. And when we notice, things will subtly change, but don't intentionally change anything. Show up exactly as you are here now, the last day of March 31st. Happy birthday, Uncle Kevin. As you find the centered moment, it's okay if the mind is still busy. That is why we're here in this practice. We're trying to take these few centering moments to let our mind notice what it's full of. And then when we concentrate on the breath, maybe the mind starts to focus solely on the breath. You can notice that it's slowing down and thinking about one or two things instead of 5 or 6 things. This is the breath. This is the tool that helps us ground into the yoga practice, ground into our body, and really be the channel that connects that relationship between our mind and our bodies. We're going to take about 5 more cycles of your natural breath here. I'm going to turn down the music and ring us in with the sound of the sound bell. Start to blink open your eyes. Maybe release the hands, wiggle the fingers. We're going to take a nice subtle neck roll, bringing your chin to your chest. Feel the space in the back of the neck really grow. Take one full round of breath. And then we're going to gently drop our right ear to our right shoulder. Feel the left neck elongate and relax. You can always have a slight bend in the knees here to help any strain in the low back. We're going to take an exhale, bringing our chin back to center. Inhaling here. And exhale, take your head back into space. Then gently inhale, feel the breath take on through the front of the throat. And then exhale, drop your left ear to your left shoulder. And again, the right neck, that side, will feel a nice elongation. Use the breath to be mindful of just that space in your body. And then exhale, chin to chest. Let the crown of your head and forehead look towards the toes. Then we'll inhale, slowly come back up to a centered position. And let's reverse that. So we'll inhale and exhale. Drop the left ear to the left shoulder. Take a full round of breath. And then inhale. Exhale, drop your chin to your chest. Feel the space in your neck, in the back of the neck elongate. And then exhale, take your right ear to your right shoulder as you lengthen through the left or the right side of the neck. And then finally go ahead and drop it back into space, looking up, lifting the chin, stretching through the front. Then we'll inhale, come all the way up to center. It's important here, the neck is a very sensitive area, so to be very mindful to only go to the space where your practice is at. We often call that the edge, where you're right in between pushing yourself, but holding back and not injuring yourself. So you want to grow out of the comfort, but you don't want to enter that space of discomfort. All right, we're going to add shoulders to that neck roll. So again, just be mindful we're adding here. We're just going to take 2 shoulder rolls back, so up towards the ears, and then let the shoulder blades come back together at the back body. We'll inhale, shoulder rolls up, and then together in the back. And then let's reverse that. So we'll inhale, shoulder rolls up, and then kind of round forward as you bring your shoulders forward. One more time. Inhale, back, and then forward. Well done. So we did a neck roll, we did shoulder rolls. Now we're going to kind of combine the neck and the shoulders as well as some of the hips. So feel your stance on your mat, spread the toes, bend the knees. We're going to inhale as we drop our body, our side body, to the right side of the room, as well with the shoulder and the neck. Then we're going to come forward, so our shoulder will round forward. We'll create a little bit of a back bend through the shoulders, through the spine, and then go ahead and keep moving. We're going to drop the shoulder back as we lean with the ear towards the left, and then back into space. We're going to do this 2 more times on this side. So nice and slow, shoulders roll forward, and then the neck rolls back, shoulders, taking a little bit back bend, and then coming back forward. One more time. Just, it's okay if you look silly, nobody's watching you. Just kind of feel how that feels in the spine. And then we're going to take this going the opposite direction. So you're going to want to lean to the left side this time. Let's see. You're going to lean to the left. And then as you bend your knees, you'll come forward. So drop your shoulder, drop your neck. The other shoulder drops. And then you start to pull the shoulders back into space, chest lifts 2 more times. Just naturally flowing, let the shoulders lead the way as you come back, taking a neck, shoulder, and a little bit of a side bend here. Well done, my friends, my family, all my viewers, everyone that's practicing yoga. Well done. It's okay to use this practice to be playful, to get a little bit experimental. Some of these things you've never tried before, and that's awesome. Welcome to movement. It feels free to move the body in ways we've never done before. Let's continue on. Maybe a new thing you've never done before. I love doing this with the special rec and kids, and you guys are adults. Again, you guys are going to see me be kind of silly, but you guys are in your living rooms, your own spaces, so kind of get wild with this. We're going to do a lion's breath. Lion's breath is so relieving. You're going to find yourself wanting to teach this to others and maybe do it throughout your day. You're going to want to get a nice bend in your knees. We're going to be going all the way to the floor for our first forward fold with this lion's breath. This lion's breath is going to reach our hands up towards the sky, sit a little bit deep in our mini chair pose. And then with an exhale, we're going to stick our tongue out like this. And we're going to drape our chest towards the ground and let it all go. We'll do a total of 3 more of these. Try it with me. We'll inhale, look up, take a back bend, and then exhale. We'll do this 2 more times. Inhale, lift up, take a back bend, and then exhale. Last time, big sigh out through the mouth, make a roar. And then slowly come back up. You can place your hands at your heart as you find mountain. I'm shaking. I don't know if it's because it's a little embarrassing or if it's because that breath feels so relieving. But allow yourself to come back to a centered position. We're going to connect to our Ujjayi breath. So with an inhale, breathe in through the nose. Exhale through the nose. Still feel that vigor, just like you did in lion's breath, that same force. 2 more times. You should feel the breath on the tips of your fingers. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the nose. 1 more time. Well done. You can blink open the eyes, relax the hands. So that breath helps us move the body in a little bit of a fiercer way. So try to connect to that breath throughout the practice. We're going to take our first sun salutations. So create a space on your mat, find a nice tall spine, maybe roll your shoulders back and down. Inhale, hands reach towards the sky. Exhale, forward fold, bend into the knees slightly and lean forward. Inhale, look forward, create that flat back. This is our first really strong core posture, so really lengthen the spine and squeeze the belly. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, slight bend in the knees, reach your hands up towards the sky. Meet them at the center and melt them to the heart. We're going to do that 2 more times. Inhale, hands reach up towards the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise the hands up, up, up. Get really, really long in the spine. Exhale, hands to heart center. 1 more time together. Inhale, hands reach the sky. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, hands to shins, gaze ahead. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach and rise, hands towards the sky. Meet them at the center and melt to your heart. Well done. You can relax the hands to the sides, taking a traditional mountain pose. We like to call it Tadasana in yoga, that's Sanskrit. We're going to take a little bit of a variation of these postures. So here's where I'm going to ask you guys to come into a wide-legged stance. And then you're going to cross your right foot over your left. So maybe bring it more towards center and then cross your right foot over your left. This may not feel very sturdy, so you may want to create a little bit of a bigger stance. You might want to lift this heel and sort of just balance on your toes. Another option is to get a block for you to rest your foot on if you need that extra help. Let's see. You could have your foot on a block. It's not supposed to be perfect, but it is going to challenge your balance. So, finally, when you find something that works for you, I want you guys to squeeze the legs together, get really, really tight. And then we're going to inhale our hands up towards the sky. We're going to do those same motions. So exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up towards the sky. Your hands can meet at center. Well done. So from here, we're going to add a side bend. This is going to challenge your balance. Don't feel frustrated if you fall out. You can always come back in, okay? Foot is flat or lifted or propped up on a block. We're going to inhale, hands up towards the sky. Since our right foot is crossed over, we're going to take our right wrist and bring it under, behind. Here's what our hands look like in the sky. Then you're going to take your palms and start reaching them towards one another. So when you're extended all the way in the sky, your wrists are together, up in the air, just like your feet. If that doesn't work for you, stay with your hands apart, and you can take this side bend without the hands clasped. If you want the hands clasped, try to squeeze the ears with your biceps and go ahead and move to the side like you're a crescent moon. We're going to take 2 breaths here into the side body. Then we'll inhale, press back up. Slowly release the hands, release the feet. Well done. You guys can come back to a centered position on your mat, meeting in that mountain. Again, maybe you're doing something for the very first time you've never tried before. You may look like a twisted knot. Go to the degree that works for you. Let's do the opposite side. Left foot is going to cross in front of your right. Again, your heel is lifted. Your foot is on a block, whatever works for you in your practice. We're going to find that edge here. So inhale, hands lift up towards the sky. Exhale, forward fold down to the toes. Again, even with our legs crossed, you're inhaling, still lifting halfway, looking forward. Exhale, forward fold. Then reach your hands out in front of you, come up towards the sky, and then meet your hands at heart center. Here we go, other side. We're going to inhale both hands up towards the sky. Since our left foot is in front, our left wrist is going to come behind us. Then you're going to take your hands and turn the fingers towards each other and then lift it up towards the sky. Your hands can clasp, they can stay apart. Just find what works for you. You're going to want to lift up through the spine, squeeze the belly, and then we're going to take a nice side bend to the right side of the room. Feel that crescent moon shape. Nice side bend, squeezing the inner thighs. It's okay if you fall out. It's okay if you're wiggly and balancing. You're not going to be perfect. None of us are. We're going to inhale to the sky and then exhale to the other side. Take 2 breaths. Beautiful job. Inhale back to a centered position. We'll slowly release the hands. Slowly release the feet. Walk it out. Take maybe a hip roll. You can bend your knees deeply and just go one side and go the other way. I'm going to turn my music up and we're going to do some more. So let's create this into a flow. What a flow will look like is combining breath and movements. Let's check out these comments. Oh, crescent moon, good. I'm glad that feels good. Yeah, it's different. And you guys always, too, could have separated your feet. Always an option. That's going forward. You can stay here and do these positions without the cross. But let's go ahead and do it 2 more times with breath to movement. Go ahead, cross right foot over the left. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Cross your wrists or don't. Exhale to the right. Inhale to center. Exhale to the left. Inhale to center. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. We'll bring our hands to the center and switch legs. Go ahead, uncross, recross. Inhale, hands up towards the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift, rise, reach. Cross the ankles, cross the wrists. Slide to the right. Inhale to center. And slide to the left. Inhale to center. Exhale, fold it all the way down towards the ground. Inhale, halfway lift, look forward. Exhale, release. Hands reach and rise. You guys did an incredible job. Bring your hands to heart center. Maybe hands to the hips. Relax and step out. Whew, good job. Let's take our feet about a little bit deeper than hip distance apart. Remember that lion's breath? Let's exaggerate it, but not in the breath, just the movements. We'll inhale, look up towards the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Bend deep into your knees. Maybe grab a block or your Clorox wipes. Where'd mine go? Clorox wipes. Whatever works for you. Or with this deep bend in our knees, for funny purposes, I'm going to use the wipes. Even though this is not a funny matter, really hand sanitize, wash your door handles, wash your fruit. Be cautious, everybody. We're going to bend. We're going to bend our right knee. Then place your hand on your block or your prop, and we're going to reach our left hand up towards the sky. Take 2 breaths here. Then exhale, slowly release. Bend your left knee. Place your left hand on your block and then reach your right hand to the sky. Looking up towards the hand. Take a couple rounds of breath. Exhale, fold. All right, guys, look up halfway. Maybe put your hands on your knees. Take a squat. We're going to do this again, but we're going to do 1 breath, 1 movement. So it's going to look like a little bit faster. These twists get really into our digestive tract. So let's fire up the breath, fire up the muscles, and ready and begin. Inhale, lift, bend your right knee. Exhale, both legs straight, switch, bend your left knee, and then reach and rise. Inhale. Exhale, switch. Inhale, lift. Exhale, switch. Inhale, lift. Exhale, switch. Inhale, lift. 2 more times. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Well done. If that was too fast, move it to your breath. We'll bring our hands on our hips. Slowly squeeze the elbows and come up nice and safely. We'll drop our props away to the side. Let's come to a mountain pose. We're going to move into chair. So we kind of saw glimpses of mini chair today. Let's get into our first full chair. Spread your toes. Feel the weight going into the heels. So I lift my toes to help remind me to bring my bottom back. My hands are going to be at my heart as I sink as low as I can. Maybe reach your hands out in front of you and go as low as you can. Well done. Here's what this the lateral view looks like. I'm sinking low, my chest is lifted, my heart and gaze is forward. Lean down a little bit deeper, take 2 more breaths. Inhale, extend all the way to the sky. Place your hands in your back pockets. Squeeze your elbows together, lean your hips forward, and drop your chin back into space. Take a good morning stretch through the front side of your chest and the back side of your ribs, your shoulders, whatever feels good for you. Breathe into it. And then slowly bend the knees, come back up. We're gonna bring our hands forward and then facing the side, facing the front, whether you switch directions or not, we're gonna go into a pyramid pose. Hands on the hips, step your right foot forward. All right, my friends, I've got about 2 feet in between my 2 feet. I have 2 feet in between my 2 feet, and that's how you should look too. My hips are facing forward, and so are my shoulders. We're going to relax them down, and then I want you guys to reach your hands forward and start to lean like you're serving a pizza. I'm going to turn so you guys can see. I'm leaning, my back is nice and flat, and as far as I can lean, that's where I'm going to have my Clorox wipes to help me if I need. But I want to lean as far as I can, and then that's when I'll begin to fold. Your hands can find blocks, Clorox wipes, a water bottle, a paint can, anything that can hold you lifted. Or if it feels really good for you, you're keeping the same length in the spine, maybe you start to take your nose to your toes or to your knee. You can bring one hip forward and the other hip back. Just feel this out in pyramid pose. It should really feel this in the back of the leg, in the core. Maybe you stay here, challenge your belly. We're gonna bring our hands to our hips, take your elbows back, and lift up. Well done. Let's do a little reverse here. Bring your hands, clasp them behind you. You're gonna wanna take your shoulder blades, pull them down, together, down. You can just stay here if you want. You can also lean back. So take about 2 breaths in that position. All right, guys, one more challenge for you. With this bound angle, if you guys want to try to lean forward and try to test it out that way, you can put a slight bend in the knee to help prevent any muscles from being pulled or any hyperextension in the back of the leg. All right, guys, that was really awesome. Come all the way back, find your hands on your hips, and step your back foot to meet your front, okay? Whew. Let's do it again on the other side. Left foot forward, right foot back. Again, you got 2 feet in between the 2 feet, so look to check that out. I really love the cue here, squeezing my thighs and drawing them in together. That's gonna help my balance. I forgot to say here, guys, this whole class is sort of a balance challenge. We started with our legs twisted and working as one. Now we're here with our feet facing the same direction. We're gonna have a balance challenge. So be patient with yourselves. We're gonna allow now for a bend in the front of our chest, leaning over that front leg. Again, a slight bend in the knee so you're not hyperextending. Then reach your hands out in front of you like you're giving somebody a big cake or a cupcake or something delicious, a pizza. Don't be giving anybody a hug though, okay? Social distancing, sadly. Maybe your dogs, maybe your family. I'm sad about it too. Okay, guys, we've created a nice flat back. We're suffering. Exhale, take your hands down to the ground. This should be screaming in the back of the leg. So find your hands on blocks, nice flat back. Then we're going to take our inhale, slowly help it rise us up. Take a nice little, take your hands, clasp them. You can take your elbows and clasp them. If you're a
seasoned yogi, you can work towards bringing your fingertips together and working them up your back. Options, friends, always options. Take your option and do this pyramid pose one more time. Go ahead and lean forward. Again, any position that feels good, nose to knee, and then we'll slowly come back out of this. Take a nice back bend, counteract that forward folding. Wonderful work. We'll bring our hands to our hips, step your front foot to meet with your back. All right, one more balancing posture with our shoulders and hips facing forward. I want you guys to maybe use a wall or use blocks. We're going to do warrior 3. So from our pyramid pose, our right foot will be forward. We're going to put a bend into that leg. So we went from pyramid pose to warrior 2. Look for your block. Look for your wall. You're going to come forward into warrior 3. So your back heel is lifted, your back is straight. You're using blocks. You can reach forward for a block. Again, try to still find that straight back that we found when we were doing our pyramid pose. Notice how my toes are facing down. Notice how my toes are facing down. My glute is driving my heel up and my back is flat. If my foot comes down, my chest comes up. If my foot goes up, my chest comes down. So just play with that here, use a wall, and then meet in a standing position. If warrior 3 is not something you want to mess with today, that's okay, but I highly encourage you try it. Your body will find freedoms in these new movements. Let's do the opposite side. Left foot forward, right foot back. Again, put a bend into the front knee. As you start to lean forward, find your blocks, find a wall. Start to lift your back foot. And again, you can come down to blocks. Come down to the wall. You can even use the wall to put your foot on. So many ways. But really what's helpful here is my ankle, knee, and hip are in line. And my ankle, hip, and shoulders are in line. It's okay. Wherever level you get, it's perfect. Again, this is your practice. You're sort of just, my grandma put it really beautifully the other day. She was really just like finding and testing her body and seeing what she can, what she can do. And like, that's really awesome to just use this practice to be mindful of where you're at and where you could go. We're all growing. All right, guys, let's move into our opened hipped part of class. I want us to take our first down dog of the day. We haven't done any of those yet, so let's take 3 breaths first. We'll take a deep squat into the legs. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more time. Inhale. And exhale. We're going to take ourselves, let's find chair pose to the ground. I know you guys can do this. So you're bending your knees, your arms are out straight. Reach, 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 reach until you come all the way to the ground. If that's not safe, don't do it. Just squat, walk. Knees don't allow that, that's okay. Let's take a quick little ab break. This is going to be great for the ending of our class. So just lift up briefly, hands to your heart, and then swing your elbows side to side, right and left. 2 times on each side. Awesome. And then take a little bit of a break and just pause for a second. We're going to do 2 more rounds of, like 10. Use your breath. Find those twists. So we inhale to center, exhale, twist. Okay, guys, if you need to put your feet on the ground, that's okay. Just lean back and twist. If you want, you can have your feet lifted all the way out, all the way up. Okay, guys, find the level that works for you. We're going to do 2 more sets of 10. exhale, inhale, exhale. And relax. Maybe you drop your forehead to your knees. Notice your breath. Is it going fast or slow against your legs? All right, guys, one more set. I hope that your body is getting warm. We're going to place our hands on our heart, lean back. Let's do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Whew, way to go, everybody. Take your hands behind you, and just windshield wiper the legs side to side. Should feel really good in the back and alongside the front of the belly. All right, guys. We're on the ground so that we can do basically a down dog. We haven't done any during our practice. I really wanted to make this available to anybody, and sometimes when we're on our knees, it's bothersome. So let's tuck our toes. We'll drop our chin. Lift your hips. Start lifting them higher, higher, higher. Let your chest relax down. Maybe shake your head yes, shake your head no. If this isn't safe for you, come down to a tabletop position or always a child's pose. If we're about to lift a leg, so if you're in a tabletop position, you can lift a leg here and start to lift it up like you're peeing on a fire hydrant. Show you on this leg, like you're peeing on a fire hydrant. Or if you're in down dog, you're gonna lift your foot up towards the sky, bend your knee, and then start to lift it open like you're peeing on a fire hydrant. You can extend the leg, you can bend the knee, roll the ankle. This is three-legged dog. So you're in down dog, but your foot is lifted. Go ahead and take it back down. Come to tabletop if you're here already. We'll do it on the other side one more time. Curl your toes, lift your hips. And if you want to go ahead and stick your opposite leg in the air, you can bend your knee and then open it up to the side of the room. We're coming into these open hips. So this is helping us reach for the sky. Again, if you're on your knee in tabletop, that's great too. We'll come back down, reset in a child's pose. Take 3 Ujjayi breaths. Did you lose those throughout the practice? I hope not. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the nose. 2 more times. Find a nice, relaxing, calm space. And then we're going to come into downward facing dog again. This time, look towards your hands. Step your right foot in between the feet. And we're going to open up all the way to the side of the room. So our right toes are facing forward. Our back foot is parallel to the back edge of the mat. Those of us that are in school or supposed to be in school, parallel lines are 2 lines that will never touch. So your back edge of the heel and the back edge of the mat are parallel. Your toe is perpendicular. Bend forward into that front knee. Create a nice sharp gaze over the middle finger. Let your shoulders sink. Come forward. Then we're going to come into a lovely reverse warrior. So your hand is going to come behind you, right hand towards the sky. I'm going to give you guys a side profile view. Reverse warrior. I believe we've seen this before. Look back, lean back. Feel a nice stretch throughout the front side body. All right, guys. Let's do this. One more posture here. Straighten your front leg. Take your hands to a T. And then start to slide your shoulders over. So you'll notice, guys, that warrior 2 stance is still in my body. Perpendicular foot, front foot, parallel heel. Shoulders are coming over. And then my hand is going to find my shin, my knee, my ankle, or a block. The block can be placed in front of the ankle or behind the ankle. what we really want to focus on is this length in the side body here, as well as the stacking of the shoulders. So take one more breath here. Look towards the ground, bend into your front knee. We'll come all the way up into that reverse warrior one more time. All right. Love it, love it. I'm gonna turn to face my mat the same way that you are. We're gonna cartwheel our hands down to the ground. We're here in a runner's lunge. From runner's lunge, maybe you drop your back knee, come to a child's pose. You could also plant your hands and set back for down dog. So whether you're in a forward fold, runner's lunge and child's pose, or you're meeting us in down dog, take 3 breaths. Let's do the other side. Step your right foot in between the hands. Plant your back foot, cartwheel the hands to a T. All right, so here we are, opposite side, back heel is planted. I feel like I'm on the wrong side. Yeah, left foot is forward, guys. And then we're gonna plant our back foot so that it's parallel to the edge of the mat. It's cool because this camera can help me see if I'm in alignment or not. So I want your guys' shoulders and hips facing the opposite way. Your knee is gonna be facing forward, trying to come towards the pinky edge of the foot. Let me turn so you guys can see these lines a little bit better. Warrior 2, arms to a T. Arms to a T. Razor sharp gaze down the middle finger. Forward bending. You guys are almost like a surfer. Ooh. All right, guys, let's take reverse. Bring this back, left hand to the sky. Stay here. We're gonna ignore the ad if you can hear it. Take a big breath in through the nose. Take a deeper bend into the front to help lengthen through the back. Wonderful work. Okay, here we come. Triangle pose. Straighten the front leg, arms to a T. Reach your shoulders over that front straight leg where the toes are pointing. Then go ahead and lean down to a block, a shin, anything really. We want to really elongate through the side body. And then we want to feel uplifted and shoulders stacked. Hand can be on a block here. 3 more breaths.
For more information on COVID-19, visit CDC.
We'll come all the way up to a nice triangle.
Let's take care of
Reverse it out. The ad is talking about COVID-19 and how to protect ourselves. CDC. That's where you should find your information, is what it's saying. And use Clorox wipes, hand sanitize everything. Okay, that's what the ad was telling us. I'm distracting you. Come to your runner's lunge. So you're in your warrior, reverse warrior. Your hands are gonna cartwheel down to runner's lunge. And then again, you're stepping back to down dog or into your child's pose. Let's meet in child's pose. We'll take 3 rounds of breath. I'm gonna check the time for us. Take your child's pose, 2 more breaths. All right, we've got one more standing posture to do. Take your down dog, lift your hips high to the sky, and then start walking your feet inwards, and then ragdoll all the way up to a standing position. I have another balance challenge for you, my friends. This is the last one, and then we'll find ourselves on the ground. This is eagle pose. Eagle pose is really fun. We're gonna take those legs we started the class with and find our right foot coming over the left. Find a nice perch for you to sit. You could even find a bend in the knees here to help you feel a little bit more strong. Tailbone's tucked. Shoulders are nice stacked over the hips. We're gonna bring our hands out to the sides. Look up, feel free, gaze up. Exhale, bring your shoulders, cross one hand in front of the other, and give yourself a nice hollowed out back here. So it looks like this. Let's do 2 more. Inhale, reach and look. Exhale, switch the hand that's on top. Carve and scrunch. It's okay if you're losing balance. Use your breath here. Inhale, exhale. Awesome, guys. We'll inhale, meet in the T position. Since our right foot is crossed over, our right hand is going to cross under. We're going to either stay here in the hug pose, or you guys can take your hands and start reaching them towards each other. We're going to sink our hips low for like a combo chair with the cross-legged. You can have your foot staying here on the ground, or you can wrap it across your shin. We're going to sink low for 2 more breaths. Can also be here. Inhale, relax out. Take a big breath in. Exhale, hands to heart center. Let's do the other side. Good job. Wasn't that hard, right? That's eagle pose. It looks like a twisted up mess. Sometimes our mind can feel like a twisted up mess. But when we drop into that center, that breath, we know where we're at. We know how strong we are. We know we're squeezing everything together. Let's take our left foot, cross it over. Find that nice perch. Maybe bend your knees. Again, still uplifted in the heart. Let's do a couple of those wingspan hugs. We're looking up, we're reaching, and then we're exhaling and we're tucking and rounding. 2 more times. Inhale, look. Exhale, crunch in. Last time. Inhale, look and reach. Exhale, scrunch and hold. We'll come back up to a standing position. Bring our hands out to a T. Find your firm eagle perch. You're going to take, since our left foot is over, our left hand will go under. Then you can cross at the elbows. Bring your forearms and hands together, or simply stay here in the hug. We're going to take 3 full breaths. So even in this twisted up mess, find center, find grounding. Stay in tune with the breath. We'll slowly release. Inhale, bring your hands up towards the sky. And exhale, hands to heart center. With our hands at heart, we're going to take this time to, again, get quiet. Find a centered, just like we started practice with today, right hand on the heart, left hand on the belly. You can notice here if the breath is fast or if it's slow, if the mind is focused or if it's wandering. Notice if you're sweating or if you're cool. Just take notice the effort that you're putting into physical movement today. You doing the work to find a calmer mind, remembering that a peaceful mind creates a peaceful world. Let's do a little bit more stretching and cooling down today on the floor. This is where your practice is at and the floor is not a good addition, then just stay here with the breath. You're doing yoga as long as you're concentrating and focusing on the movement of that breath. But for everybody else, let's release the hands, blink open the eyes, wiggle the fingers. Take your hands out in front of you. You can bend the knees. Start to slowly come all the way down to the ground. If you need to squat, if you need to take it in a different way, just safely come to the floor. We'll meet with our legs extended out in front of us. I'm going to check on comments as well as fix the camera for our more of a localized, all right, great. we're on the floor now. Your blocks could be helpful. A blanket could be helpful. Even a strap. This is a pillowcase. I seriously just found it laying in my room. So I'm going to use this to show you guys if you want some help. You guys can use a towel, a pillowcase, a blanket, something to help you with this next pose. Okay, guys, we're meeting here in Tadasana, which again, or Dadasana. So Tadasana is what we started with. We were in mountain pose. This is seated mountain pose. Our feet are flexed, our toes are pointing to the sky. Let's roll our shoulders up towards our ears and then relax them down the back body. Bring your right foot into your chest. So your foot is on the ground and you're starting to bring your knee into your chest. You can give it a hug, a squeeze, maybe a kiss. Point your toes up. Relax your shoulders down. Guys, now I want you to take a moment here and see if you can lift your foot, maybe just rock your knee side to side. You're leaning back and back. You're using the core here to help you, but driving the front foot, activating the leg to really still push you forward, and so that you're not leaning too far back. Your front foot should still be activated. Okay. Now from here, you can take your hand to the bottom of the foot. I want you guys next to start to cradle the leg. So my elbow is cradling my knee and my left hand is hooking my right ankle or bottom of the foot. And I'm just simply kind of cradling it like a baby. Beautiful, okay? This is just a nice, gentle cradle in the hip. Nothing too extreme, okay? Next, I want you guys to take your knee. You can go ahead and drop it over to the other side, crossing it over the left foot, or you can keep it still on the inside. It's up to you. We'll inhale, lift, and then exhale, start to twist towards the to the right side of the room. So you're hugging your knee in. Your right hand could reach to the sky and maybe come behind you as you get a nice deep twist here. Okay? Secretary. I'm going to turn so you guys can see. My foot is crossed, either inside or outside. I'm lifting up in my spine and twisting over my right shoulder. We'll inhale, come back to a seated position in the front. I want you guys to uncross the leg. One more pose here. You guys can take the bottom of your foot, can keep the knee into the chest and start to extend it out as far as you'd like. Here's where you guys can use your blanket or a towel and strap it to the bottom of the foot. Bring your shoulder blades back, draw your elbows down, and then you can start to extend the foot. Or again, just use your hands on your ankle or your leg. Beautiful. From here, you guys can stay here. You can bring your right pinky fingers to your toe. If you want, you can start to take it, open it up a little bit. Hand could be on your hip, hand could be on the ground. Doesn't matter, okay? This is really coming from the core here. So uplift, take out, whatever feels good, okay? Relax the shoulders down. And then let's bring it back to center. Bend your knee, gently place it back to the ground, and extend out. Well done. That's like some crazy name. It's like extended bound ankle, foot, nose to knee, some crazy stuff. So some people take that variation standing up on their feet. We're taking it here seated on the floor. Let's do the other side. We're going to inhale, bring your left knee into the chest. Place your foot firmly on the ground. Again, still activating through that right leg. That right leg's toes are pointing to the sky, really fiercely pressing down. Your chest is lifting up. Really beautiful job.
And maybe you lean back and your heel lifts. Really draw your leg into the chest. Well done. Now, your left elbow is still cradling the knee. You can bring your right hand to the bottom of the foot and kind of bring it out. So you're cradling your baby, cradling your knee, your leg. You should treat your body as if it was your baby. It's something that we should nourish and care for very dearly, and be present and attentive to it, just like we are to the ones that we care for. All right, guys, taking this leg baby and bringing it all the way across the leg. You can stamp it on the ground or keep it here in the inside of the thigh, whatever feels good. Lift up, feel nice and tall and proud, smile, and then start turning towards your leg that's crossed, so towards the left side of the room. We're going to bring our right hand to cross the knee and our left hand behind us. Feeling this uplift in the heart and then twist in the spine. I'll turn so you guys can see. Secretary is what this is called in gym class. All right, and then slowly come back to a centered position. We're going to now take the knee, bring it back to the inside, and then you can take your hands, your lovely hands, and find and frame the foot. Keeping your shoulders down, elbows in, bringing your foot maybe out here with a bent knee, like this. Or you can start to extend it a little bit more and a little bit more, or take that pillowcase, towel. Beautiful. So again, my heel is driving my front leg from keeping it from coming back. I can lean back a little bit, still uplifted. If I want, I can take it out to the side. So that's what that looks like. Okay, still uplifted, shoulders relaxed, breathing into the body, into the mind. And slowly come back. Go ahead, nice and slow and controlled, release it. We'll bring our knees up to our chest, give them a squeeze. Let's take our hands down. I look really white. I'm sorry. It's the natural light that's just spilling in from outside, which is awesome. But I am missing that sun, and I'm excited for this spring. And it feels like it's coming more and more as we get later into the month. And tomorrow will actually be the 1st of April. Yet we're kind of living through one of the biggest April Fool's jokes that I've ever seen. All right. Although this is not a joke. But things that we can do to help us are yoga, to laugh, to make jokes with friends, to FaceTime friends, to find new games. We're just kind of taking this moment here to loosen up the spine, loosen up any kinks in the hips. Take your hands behind you. Let's do windshield wipers one more time. This is our knees relaxing to one side, shoulder blades pulling back and down. Again, going back to that quote we started with today, a peaceful mind creates a peaceful world. I love that because we are seeing the world from our own viewpoint, our own perspective. So if we can find ways to create a peaceful mind within ourselves, we can start to see the world as more peaceful as well, and help others create peace within themselves. It really starts with the individual and bursts outwards, and we're seeing that here with our COVID-19 isolation. It starts with the individual responsibility of coming to know that we need to do our part and stay at home and safe to protect others, because one person does make a big difference. And that one person is you, that one person is me. So let's keep tuning into these peaceful moments of movement
and reminders that we're still in community, no matter if we're far or close. Let's take one more hug in our shins. We're going to slowly come down to the ground. We'll bring our knees into our chest, give them a hug. Maybe extend your feet to the sky, point and flex the toes. You can come into happy baby one more time. Bring your peace fingers to the insides of your big toes. You can rock side to side. Maybe extend one foot and then the other. We'll bring our knees into our nose one more time. Tight, tight squeeze. And then gently relax the body completely towards the ground. Relax your shoulders. Feel your belly relax. And imagine you're like settling dust. You have practiced, you've moved, you've twisted, you've balanced, you've grounded. And now you're in your final posture, Shavasana. This is corpse pose. You can take this time to relax into your regular breath, to slowly transition into the rest of the day. Some people can spend 5 minutes here, others will spend 30. It's up to you and up to your practice where you go from here. You can place your hands on your belly or your heart. Find some relaxation, some stillness, from gratitude. I invite you to be here as long as you can. For those that need to close up their practice, you can gently lean to the side and then press yourself up. You can cross the legs, roll the shoulders, scoop up the air around you. Notice the energy you created here, and exhale, draw it straight to your heart. Whether you're still resting or you're with me in Sukhasana, easy seated pose, I want to remind you of the light that shines so brightly within you, the joy, the movement, the breath. I see it so clearly in you because I see it so clearly in me. Let this practice bring you peace, and may you share this peace with others. Namaste. Thank you guys for tuning in for our Yoga Live. This was the second one, and each time I think it's just going to keep getting more fun. So continuously give me feedback. I love to hear it, as well as tip your teacher